It was March of 1986 when Minnesotans Will Steger, Ann Bancroft, and Paul Shirkey set off on an expedition that would take them to the top of the world. Now, on the 25th anniversary of their historic adventure, the team is getting together to reminisce about their North Pole quest and how the landscape they crossed has changed so dramatically. That reunion will be taking place tomorrow night at the Minnesota History Center, and joining us to talk this afternoon about it are the expedition leader, Will Steger, and his colleague, Richard Weber. Gentlemen, good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thoughts and recollections in a few words from 25 years ago.
Well, it's good to see everybody. We had this intense experience, and then after the expedition, we all parted our ways. We saw each other a few times in the Arctic, but we're all together for the first time.
Well, let me refresh you a little bit. Dog sledding across 1,000 miles of shifting ice in 70 below temperatures, completing the journey with no resupplies of food, equipment, or fuel. Ann's plunge through the thin ice, one woman on this expedition with these 7 men, and a tent fire that was triggered by a faulty stove. And that turned out to be the most frightening thing. We see it right there.
Yep.
All right, how'd you choose this gentleman? How'd you choose Richard? Richard, a Canadian who has the distinction of being the only person to go 7 times across
the North Pole.
To the North Pole. How were you chosen for this?
They were looking for a skier, and I was a cross-country skier on the Canadian national ski team.
And a young guy.
The young guy then.
How old were you then?
I was 26.
26 years old. Did you know then that it would spark this whole lifelong interest?
No, it's interesting getting back to everybody and seeing how it's been such a kind of watershed event in everybody's life. It really was. No one realized it at the time.
Once you do things like this, how do you top yourself when you continue to do these things?
Well, we all go on to do our, different adventures, so it's, life goes on, but...
It does. Well, in your case, well, it really has had you and helped the world embrace so much about how our ecology is changing.
Yep. We would never know 25 years ago that we'd see these changes. We had no idea that. Right today, I don't think there'll ever be another dog sled expedition to the pole because of the open water. And we've seen all this, and I've been fortunate enough to be in a situation where I've been able to get out the word through my eyewitness account of these changes, and also looking at where the solutions are.
It's been profound now that we have this ability, these pictures that we can see how it's changed. It really has opened up the world's eyes, has it not?
Yes, it has. I think so. The adventure is always good to draw people's attention, and dogs and so forth, and we've been able to educate millions of young kids over the years. Richard does the same thing, but through the internet and through classroom activities, we bring this into a real-time situation.
As you look back on these experiences, Richard, did you think you were being brave then, or you just didn't know?
I didn't know. We had -70. I didn't think it existed. But it made one of the great things. We were out there, and I was thinking, God, it's so cool. But I'm alive, and I'm doing it. It was amazing.
Live to tell about it, live to touch so many lives with it. I think that's what's so remarkable, as both of you attest. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today. This is such a wonderful opportunity for folks to help you celebrate tomorrow. Thank you again. North Pole 86, the 25th anniversary, takes place tomorrow night at the Minnesota History Center. Tickets are $12 for adults, $10 for History Center members. College students and children get in for $5. For more on the reunion, go to the Minnesota History Center's website. You'll also find a link on the 4 p.m. homepage under the News tab at KARE-11.com.